I read the book The 5 a.m. Club. Disclaimer: this is not the 5 a.m. Club has no affiliation, has no connection with the CEO official. This is only an initiative to help young minds grow, to help young people transform their lives. The credit goes to the writer of this book, by name Robin Sharman. Thank you for writing this book. The number one best-selling author of The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, Robin Sharman. 15 million books sold worldwide. The 5 a.m. Club. Own your morning. Elevate your life. Robin Sharman's books are helping people all over the world lead great lives. Paulo Coelho. The 5 a.m. Club. Own your morning. Elevate your life. Robin Sharman. HarperCollins Publishers Limited. Message from the author plus dedication. I'm immensely grateful that this book is in your hands. My deep hope is that it serves the full expression of your gifts and talents beautifully and causes revolutions of heroic transformation within your creativity, productivity, prosperity, and service to the world. The 5 a.m. Club is based on a concept and method that I have been teaching to celebrated entrepreneurs, CEOs of legendary companies, sports superstars, music icons, and members of royalty with extraordinary success for over 20 years. I wrote this book over a 4-year period in Italy, South Africa, Canada, Switzerland, Russia, Brazil, and Mauritius. Sometimes the words flowed effortlessly as if a gentle summer breeze was at my back, and at other times I struggled to move ahead. Sometimes I felt like waving the white flag of creative depletion, and during other periods of this intensely spiritual process, a responsibility higher than my own needs encouraged me to continue. I have given all I have to give in the writing of this book for you, and I greatly thank all the very good people from around the planet who have stood with me to the completion of the 5 a.m. Club. And so, with a full heart, I humbly dedicate this book to you, the reader. The world needs more heroes, and why wait for them when you have it in you to become one, starting today, with love plus respect. Epigraph. We will have eternity to celebrate the victories, but only a few hours before sunset to win them. Ami Carmichael. For what it's worth, it's never too late, or, in my case, too early to be whoever you want to be. I hope you live a life you are proud of. If you find that you are not, I hope you have the strength to start all over again. F. Scott Fitzgerald. And those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. Friedrich Nietzsche. Chapter 1. The dangerous deed. A gun would be too violent. A noose would be too ancient. And a knife blade to the wrist would be too silent. So the question became, how could a once glorious life be ended swiftly and precisely, with minimum mess, yet maximum impact? Only a year ago, circumstances had been dramatically more hopeful. The entrepreneur had been widely celebrated as a titan of her industry, a leader of society, and a philanthropist. She was in her late 30s, steering the technology company she founded in her dorm room in college to ever-increasing levels of marketplace dominance, while producing products that her customers revered. Yet, now she was being blindsided, facing a mean-spirited and jealousy-fueled coup that would significantly dilute her ownership stake in the business she had invested most of her life building, forcing her to find a new job. The cruelty of this remarkable turn of events was proving to be unbearable for the entrepreneur. Beneath a regularly icy exterior beat a caring, compassionate, and deeply loving heart. She felt like life itself had betrayed her and that she deserved so much better. She considered swallowing a gigantic bottle of sleeping pills. The dangerous deed would be cleaner this way. Just take them all and get the job done fast, she thought. I need to escape this pain. Then she spotted something on the stylish oak dresser in her all-white bedroom, a ticket to a personal optimization conference that her mother had given her. The entrepreneur usually laughed at people who attended such events, calling them broken-winged and saying they were seeking the answers of a pseudo-guru when everything they needed to live a prolific and successful life was already within them. Maybe it was time to rethink her opinion. She couldn't see many options. Either she would go to the seminar and experience some breakthrough that would save her life, or she would find her peace via a quick death. Chapter 2. A daily philosophy on becoming legendary. Do not allow your fire to go out. Spark by irreplaceable spark in the hopeless swamps of the non-quiet. The not yet and the not at all. Do not let the hero in your soul perish in lonely frustration for the life you deserved and have never been able to reach. The world you desire can be won. It exists. It is real. It is possible. It is yours. Ayn Rand. He was a speaker of the finest kind, a genuine spellbinder. Nearing the end of a fabled career, and now in his 80s, he had become revered throughout the world as a grandmaster of inspiration, a legend of leadership, and a sincere statesman, helping everyday people realize their greatest gifts. In a culture filled with volatility, uncertainty, and insecurity, the Spellbinders events drew stadium-sized numbers of human beings who longed not only to lead masterful lives filled with creativity, productivity, and prosperity, but also to exist in a way that passionately elevated humanity, so that at the end they would feel confident they had left a wonderful legacy and made their mark on the generations that would follow. This man's work was unique. It blended insights that fortified the warrior within our characters and with ideas that honored the soulful poet who resides inside the heart. His message showed ordinary individuals how to succeed at the highest levels of the business realm, yet reclaim the magic of a life richly lived. So, we return to the sense of awe we once knew before a hard and cold world placed our natural genius into bondage by an orgy of complexity, superficiality, and technological distraction. Though the spellbinder was tall, his advanced years left him slightly bent over. As he walked the platform, he stepped carefully yet gracefully. A precisely fitted charcoal grey suit with soft white pinstripes gave him an elegant look, and a pair of blue tinted eyeglasses added just the right amount of cool. Life's too short to play small with your talents, the spellbinder spoke to the room of thousands. You were born into the opportunity as well as the responsibility to become legendary. You have been built to achieve masterwork level projects, designed to realize unusually important pursuits, and constructed to be a force for good on these tiny planets. You have it in you to reclaim sovereignty over your primal greatness in a civilization that has become fairly uncivilized. To restore your nobility in a global community where the majority shops for nice shoes and acquires expensive things, yet rarely invests in a better self. Your personal leadership demands that you stop being a cyber zombie, relentlessly attracted to digital devices, and restructure your life to model mastery, exemplify decency, and relinquish the self-centeredness that keeps good people limited. The great women and men of the world were all givers, not takers. Renounce the common delusion that those who accumulate the most win. Instead, do work that is heroic, that staggers your marketplace by the quality of its originality, as well as from the hopefulness it provides. While you do so, my recommendation is that you also create a private life, strong in ethics, rich with marvelous beauty, and unyielding when it comes to the protection of your inner peace. This, my friends, is how you soar with the angels and walk alongside the gods. The spellbinder paused. He drew in a gulp of air as big as a mountain. His breathing grew strained and made a whooshing noise as he inhaled. He looked down at his stylish black boots that had been polished up to a military grade. Those in the front row sat Those in the front row saw a single tear drizzle down the time-worn yet once handsome face. His gaze remained downward. His silence was thunderous. The spellbinder appeared unstable. After a series of stressful moments that had some in the audience shifting in their seats, the spellbinder put down the microphone he had been holding in his left hand. With his free hand, he tenderly reached into a pocket of his trousers and pulled out a crisply folded linen handkerchief. He wiped his cheek. Each of you has a call on your lives. Every one of you carries an instinct for excellence within your spirits. No one in this room needs to stay frozen in average and succumb to the mass mediocritization of behavior evident in society. Average and evident in society, along with the collective deprofessionalization of business so apparent in industry. Limitation is nothing more than a mentality that too many good people practice daily until they believe it's reality. It breaks my heart to see so many potentially powerful human beings stuck in a story about why they can't be extraordinary professionally and personally. You need to remember that your excuses are seducers, your fears are liars, and your doubts are thieves. Many nodded, a few clapped, then many more applauded. I understand you. I really do, continued the spellbinder. I know you've had some difficult times in your life. We'll all have. I get that you might be feeling things haven't turned out the way you thought they would when you were a little kid, full of fire, desire, and wonder. You didn't plan on each day looking the same, did you? In a job that might be smothering your soul, dealing with stressful worries and endless responsibilities that stifle your originality and steal your energy, lusting after unimportant pursuits and hungry for the instant fulfillment of trivial desires, often driven by a technology that enslaves us instead of liberating us, living the same week a raw living the same week a few thousand times and calling it a life. I need to tell you that too many people among us die at 30 and are buried at 80. So, I do get you. You hope things would be different, more interesting, more exciting, more fulfilling, special and magical. The spellbinder's voice trembled as he spoke these last words. He struggled to breathe for an instant. A look of concern caused his brow to crinkle. He sat down on a cream. He sat down on a cream-colored chair that had been carefully placed at the side of the stage by one of his assistants. And yes, I am aware that there are so many in this room who are currently leading lives you love. You are an epic success in the world, fully on your game and enriching your families and communities with an electricity that borders on otherworldly. Nice work. Bravo. And yet, you too have experienced seasons where you have been lost in the frigid and dangerous valley of darkness. You too have known the collapse of your creative magnificence as well as your productive eminence into a tiny circle of comfortableness, fearfulness, and numbness that betrayed the mansions of mastery and reservoirs of bravery inside of you. You too have been disappointed by the barren winters of a life weakly lived. You too have been denied many of your most inspired childhood dreams. You too have been hurt by people you trusted. You too have had your ideals destroyed. You too have had your innocent heart devastated, living your life decimated like a ruined country after ambitious foreign invaders infiltrated it. The cavernous conference hall was severely still. No matter where you are on the pathway of your life, please don't let the pain of an imperfect past hinder the glory of your fabulous future. You are so much more powerful than you may currently understand. Splendid victories and outright blessings are coming your way, and you are exactly where you need to be to receive the growth necessary for you to lead the unusually productive, extremely prodigious, and exceptionally influential life that you have earned through your harshest trials. Nothing is wrong at this moment, even if it feels like everything's falling apart. If you sense your life's a mess right now, this is simply because your fears are just a little stronger than your faith. With practice, you can turn down the volume of the voice of your scared self and increase the tone of your most triumphant side. The truth is that every challenging event you have experienced, each toxic person that you've encountered, and all the trials you have endured have been perfect preparation to make you into the person that you are now. You needed these lessons to activate the treasures, talents, and powers that are now awakening within you. Nothing was an accident. Zero was a waste. You are definitely exactly where you need to be to begin the life of your most supreme desires. One that can make you an empire builder along with a life-changing with a world changer, and perhaps even a history maker. This all sounds easy, but it's a lot harder in reality, shouted a man in a red basement cap, seated in the fifth row. He sported a grey t-shirt and ripped jeans, the type you can buy torn at your local shopping mall. Though this outburst could have seemed disrespectful, the pitch of the participant's voice and his body language displayed genuine admiration for the spellbinder. I agree with you, you wonderful human being, responded the spellbinder, his grace influencing all participants and his voice sounding somewhat stronger as he stood up from his chair. Ideas are worth nothing unless backed by application. The smallest of implementations is always worth more than the grandest of intentions. And if being an amazing person and developing a legendary life was easy, everyone would be doing it. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Sure, dude, replied the man in the red cap as he rubbed his lower lip with a finger. Society has sold us a series of mistruths. The spellbinder continued. That pleasure is preferable to the terrifying yet majestic fact that all possibility requires hard work, regular reinvention, and a dedication as deep as the sea to living our hours of safety daily. I believe that the seduction of complacency and an easy life is 100 times more brutal, ultimately, than a life where you go all in and take an unconquerable stand for your brightest dreams. World class begins where your comfort zone ends is the rule that successful, the influential, and the happiest always remember. The man nodded. Groups of people in the audience were doing the same. From a young age, we are programmed into thinking that moving through life loyal to the values of mastery, ingenuity, and decency should need little effort. And so, if the road gets tough and requires some patience, we think we are on the wrong path, commented the spellbinder as he grabs an arm of the wooden chair and folded his thin frame into the seat again. We have encouraged a culture of soft, weak, and delicate people who can't keep promises.